वेलकम बैक। तो फ्रेंड्स अभी का वीडियो है इंडिया 2025 करंट अफेयर्स जियोपॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमिक्स डॉक्टर राधा कृष्णन पिल्लई द रणवीर शो। तो चलो आपने सजेस्ट किया है, अब भैया ये बड़ी होती हैं वीडियोस, फिर वो एक पार्ट हो जाता है, फिर वो दूसरा पार्ट पता नहीं कब होता है, इसमें बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, इसलिए पेशेंटली वेट करना भैया, ठीक है ना। तो अभी फर्स्ट पार्ट कर रहे हैं।
वही अगर वाकई ही पार्ट 2 सभी की डिमांड होगी तो करेंगे।
तो चल, नहीं तो फिर हम अकेले ही देख लेंगे।
राइट, क्योंकि कई बार मतलब मुझे पता नहीं इंटरेस्ट कितना है, इंटरेस्ट पे डिपेंड करेगा। वाकई अगर काफी लोगों को लगता है कि हमें पार्ट 2 भी देखना है तो अच्छी बात है, मगर हम काफी कुछ कवर कर देते हैं पार्ट 1 में ही।
चलो तो वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। वीडियो शुरू करने से पहले अगर आप चैनल पर नए हो और आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो जल्दी से पहले सब्सक्राइब के बटन और बेल आइकन को क्लिक कर लो, ताकि आपको हमारे सारे न्यू वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाए जैसे हम अपलोड करें।
अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आता है प्लीज लाइक एंड शेयर। चलिए शुरू करते हैं।
Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai has been on this show multiple times, but we've always only spoken about self-improvement. People know that he's the man behind countless bestsellers. People know that he's one of the premier intellectuals and corporate speakers in this country.
Sure.
What people don't know about Dr. Radha is that he's a consultant for the Indian military, the Indian government, the Indian bureaucracy, and countless Indian politicians.
Wow.
That's how much respect that this man commands in the cream layers of Indian society. Therefore, I thought it's appropriate to do our first current affairs based podcast with him. 2022 is where the Ranveer Show reinvents itself. You're going to see a ton of changes on the show, everything from the logo to the flavor to the music. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, for more enriching TRS episodes, follow us on Spotify. We're a Spotify exclusive, which means that every episode is available on Spotify 48 hours before it's available anywhere else in the world.
Sure.
2022 has just begun, and I promise you, you're going to feel the nature of the podcast changing up completely. This is TRS. Keep supporting. But for now, enjoy Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, my mentor, like never before on The Ranveer Show. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir, this is our first recording of 2022. Welcome to the show once
पहले
again.
भी आए हैं।
Happy New Year to each one of you.
Happy New Year, sir. This year, my personal content shift is little more talk about current affairs. That's why let's dive straight in, sir. What's been exciting you and what's been sort of deflating you about India lately?
India is already in the power game. Unfortunately, we think like followers rather than leaders.
Oh.
So I believe our time has come. We need to get into that space of leading the world in the right way. And for me, most important, the spiritual way.
And what has been exciting you?
We are a lucky generation. We don't have to worry about the basics, roti, kapda, makan, bijli, sadak, pani. I'm not saying that we are
तो
done
हमारे
yet.
parents और
That's
parents
not
के
our
parents
major
का-
focus anymore. I think we have proved it. So many years, 75 years of struggle. I think next 25 years will be very amazing at the international space.
Wow.
Geopolitics, international relations is going to be very important for our country. Two reasons for this. The people in the country, geographically who are still Indians, have a major role to play. But secondly, the geopolitics starts with the Indian diaspora as well. The people who have migrated out of India, settled abroad, but still they have the Indianness in them.
होता है यार।
So I think it's going to be a great combination over the next 25 years where the people in India and the Indians out of India will be working together
Right.
to bring back something greater than we have ever seen.
Yeah.
That's for me.
I think we will keep addressing that brain drain problem, but in truth, the solution to it is what you're saying. That people who want to live there will always live there because that's human choice, human free will.
yes.
And the best way to do it is you sit there, you sit in America, you sit in Europe, you work with the locals there, but also do something for your country. And because of this whole COVID situation, work from home has started. Therefore, anyone here can work for anyone, then you can really build out international businesses.
Absolutely.
Sir, but I mean, I don't know if the audiences know this. I know this because I speak to you a lot offline as well. You work a lot with our government. You work with the military. You're sort of a consultant for both of them. I know a lot of almost confidential stuff, maybe one level less than confidential stuff, which I don't even know if you can reveal online, sir. But out of the things you can reveal, what would you like to tell audiences? You know, if there are any specifics you can
This
share
is
about, okay, this
interesting,
is how
yeah.
the military is thinking, this is how the government's thinking. What is the leadership at the top thinking about the country?
So first of all, thank you so much. Offline discussion to online discussions. So I don't think it's confidential, but it's also sensitive. So what I would always say, my friends tell this very often, that Radha, your life is an open book. So I don't keep any secrets. Yet we require maturity to understand the space I am in. I work not only with the government but various parts of the government. So let me put it this way. So I'm already part of academia. So Mumbai University, I'm a director over there. The Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies. So that's one part of the government. The second, as you rightly mentioned, I do work with the armed forces. When you say armed forces, the first impression people have is about that Jawan who is fighting the Kargil war and across the China border and the Pakistan border. Yeah, that's one space, but there is an intellectual space within the armed forces also.
That's important.
So, I do train at the National Defense College, I do train at the College of Defense Management, and all these are public information. It's not like, but at the same time, what's very important to know that, military is going to play a very important role. Third is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is very important because I believe that the strength of India is actually the bureaucrats. So they're highly qualified, they go through an entrance test, they are very well read, they're globally, I would say competitive in their own space. And the fourth, of course, my favorite is politicians. I do work with a lot of politicians, help them out with plans. So that's very important.
Good politician.
All this because of
Oh,
Chanakya.
that's
Because Chanakya was guiding the government and he were guiding the Rajas. So I've been very fortunate that all these things are there in my part of life also, where I'm working with all these segments: academia, military, bureaucracy, politicians, etc. Coming back to what I would like to say, especially since our audience is youth, please get interested in political science, public policy, international relationship, geopolitics. The time has come for India not to worry about what's going to be my career. Now it's going to be whether you're contributing to India at the global level. It's a very important space. And unfortunately, previous thought process was all these issues, public policy, international relations, was limited to some diplomats and ambassadors out over there. But with the internet boom and the digital space that we are in, I think everybody's a soldier out over there. So we have cyber soldiers out over here. We have soldiers who may not be only across the border, but who are fighting cyber crimes, right from internet hacking. So I would say that my request to all of you is that please get interested in the policy level making. You don't have to be a policy maker, but there are so many courses out over there. So coming back, any questions you want to answer specifically, I'll be there. But my request is that today the Raja Vidya, the knowledge for the kings, is open to everyone. It has become Praja Vidya. So don't think that there's a barrier out over there. Oh, he's top and I'm the common man. The power of the common man is actually the power of the king. And that's
Because of the internet.
Absolutely. So become a king even if you're a common man.
I have so many tangential questions, sir. Let's start with the four wings that you named, bureaucracy, education, politicians, and the government in general.
Yes.
Why don't you break all four down? If you can give an example, nothing like it,
Sure.
But in what way do they consult you, and how do leaders there think? Because I'm assuming that, see, if you are, say, the chief of military, you have to think of, okay, how do we protect India against China now?
Yeah.
Because that's the looming threat everyone knows about. I would also like to know, what is the top layer of the bureaucracy thinking? What is the top layer of academia thinking? What is the top layer of the government in general thinking? What's happening there?
I think that's a nice question. I like to break them into four parts, as you rightly pointed out. The first part is academia. Now, I'm not only talking about the university academia. See, academia is actually the intellectual part of our community. Okay, they do the policy making, they do think tanks. And being part of the Mumbai University, I've been very fortunate that, I was instrumental in conducting the first International Yoga Day in US. So an international conference. So I have a perspective what happens today at the power level in the academia. So if you look at it today, we have a concept called as soft power. So hard power is where the military comes in, the strategy part of it comes in, but we are moving into soft power. Yoga, India's soft power. Bollywood being a soft power. And various other things.
Cultural exports.
Exactly. Even Ayurveda is a soft power. but we are moving from soft power to what is called as the smart power. So in the academia, what generally happens is that we make policies, structures, schemes for the government. Let me give you a simple example.
What does policy even mean? Like when you say, okay, you're making policies, what does it actually mean?
Okay. So a policy from a corporate angle is about, how do you turn around your company probably in the pandemic era. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about public policy. So governments sit down and make plans which are important for the society. For
Infrastructure,
example, we are in
correct.
Mumbai. Okay, now what is a very important part of Mumbai right now? So the state government or the municipal corporation of Mumbai will sit down and say, okay, we need to have metros, and you can see all over the metros
Infrastructure.
happening. Now that's a policy that has been set by the government after a lot of brainstorming. Now, how does a policy get formed? And I would suggest all of you to even think about doing a small course on public policy. It's very much available, and a short course on internet. So many edutech companies are offering. So a public policy is a plan which is generally made by the top guys sitting over there, the bureaucrats. But they don't make it alone. They invite ideas from the public, and you can participate in public policy. So the academia side, I've been involved in so many committees where we sit down and think about it. Like I'll give you a simple example. There was this particular idea that we should introduce leadership as a subject in our country. You rightly pointed out that brain drain. What happened in the brain drain era is the best of the minds from India went abroad. And I would say, in a way, it was good in the long term if you look at it, because the guys who left India are still contributing to India. So if you look at the Twitters and the IBMs and the Microsoft and the Googles, all of them studied here. But there was this thought process that came in our university and saying that, are we going to take it to the next level? What does our generation require? So it's okay, let us move from management to leadership, which is one step above. So we formulated the first ever institution in Mumbai University called the Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies. So we actually do a 2 years master's program on leadership. We offer PhD in leadership. Now, how did this happen? So it was an idea, of course, with the vice chancellor and all the academia came together, brainstorm on it. There's a process to it. It is not an idea. Please understand, idea to a plan is business. Idea to a business plan is what we generally talk in the corporate world, in the startup world. But we are talking about a public policy where an idea has to go through a process where in the academia we go through what is called as the board of studies, BOS. Typically, when you have to introduce a syllabus, you can't do it alone. Okay, so there is a group of 5 to 7 people who come down, brainstorm what are the subjects to be taught. Then it has to be approved by a higher authority called as the academic council. Again, it has to be approved by something called as a management council. Then it's be approved by the chancellor. So you have to look at the process. But after that hard work is done, then it becomes a part of the bigger game. So I just give an example of how a public policy becomes a kind of a system in academia, which I spoke about leadership. Now let me shift it to bureaucracy. In bureaucracy, the typical word means those people who run the government machinery. So
Yes.
the easiest word to associate with bureaucracy is the civil servants or civil services. And there are
Yeah,
many of them.
IPS, IAS.
Highest is IFS, Indian Foreign Service. IPS, Indian Police Service. We had Shivanandan sir on the podcast. Then we have IAS, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Forest Service. So there are many of them. Now, what generally happens is that the government is run through a machinery. Okay, so there are people who run the whole show. So if you look at today, we are sitting again in Mumbai, the municipal corporation. Now there is some machinery which runs it. So let's say the commissioner of Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Now he is a trained bureaucrat. He knows the whole systems, the process, he studied the rules. So in India, how do you become a bureaucrat? The first question. And the second is, what does a bureaucrat do? So today there are open competitive exams. So if you want to become a collector, or this general dreams people have in the tier 2 cities, I would say even villages. The biggest thing is to become a collector, because that was a system started by the Britishers. So the government will select a few group of people through a competitive exam process. So there are so many exams that's happening, you crack them. And then you're trained in the government administrative system. So let's say you go through 2 years of rigorous training and things like that. And after that, you would be put into certain states. For example, IAS officer or an IPS officer. So Indian Administrative Service or Indian Police Service. After the 2 years training program is over, they would generally choose which state they want to work in. So Shivanandan sir, giving the example, was actually from Tamil Nadu. Okay, born, brought up over there. But later on, he cracked the exam, and after his IPS training, he was asked, which state would you like to
Which
serve?
state?
So of course, he chose Maharashtra.
Acha.
He comes to Maharashtra, and then the whole 30 years that he worked in various postings in Maharashtra. Of course, from time to time, they go to deputations outside the state and maybe outside the country also. So the bureaucracy generally functions to understand how the state is run. So if you look at civics and politics as a subject, they are the execution body. Okay, so today look at everything that's getting executed. There will be a bureaucrat both at the state and the central level. So that's the whole machinery that works. And believe me, it's a system with a lot of power. Okay, so a collector sometimes also is also a district magistrate. He can take, you can take legal decisions. So that's a power that you get. Coming back to what is the role of a bureaucrat? The role of a bureaucrat is to execute the kind of a decisions that are taken at the state level, which the politicians generally do. So they will have an idea. From a bill, it becomes an act. I want to simplify it. Let's say, okay, again, the government decides, like we have to have, national highways. That's what Nitin Gadkari ji is currently doing as the head of all the highways at Noida. Now, who executes it? The politicians are representatives of people in democracy. So they get selected, they'll debate and discuss in the parliament, and afterwards they say, okay, done. But karega kaun? So these bureaucrats come into it, and they're very intellectual. They have budgets with them, they have the plans with them, they have a complete machinery with them, they have power with them. And believe me, if you have a good bureaucrat, he can turn around a whole city or a village for that particular matter. So coming back, I do work with the bureaucrats in giving some inputs, and I've been fortunate that many bureaucrats do call me and say that, we have a small project, so Radha sir, can you handle it? So I'll give one simple example. When the government decided that, we need to take International Yoga Day really big, okay, now that's a statement, okay.
US में आए थे.
But how do you do it? So I remember 2016, one of the ministers right over Delhi, Rajya Sabha minister, he just called me up and said, we know you can do it because you're already part of academia. So, okay, can you handle this particular program? I said, okay, so what's the program? I have no idea. Don't worry, you'll get a call. So I got a call from an IAS officer. Okay, very sweet person, and saying that, Radha sir, we have this particular project by the government. We have the funds, we have the budgets, but we need to actually do yoga in a very big way. So let's start with India and we'll take it global. I said, okay, so I don't understand it. But they said, Radha, sir, we understand what you can deliver. I said, okay, let's have a meeting. So I flew to Chandigarh at that particular time, and with my PhD guy, Dr. Shubhada Joshi, and so went over there and said, listen, here is a project by the government of India that we need to make International Yoga Day really big. Thanks to our Prime Minister, it was already cleared at the international level where United Nations accepted International Yoga Day as a formal day to be celebrated globally. But that's not enough. What do you do? So 2016, Chandigarh was the place from where we actually launched the International Yoga Day. So I had the power, a temporary power, to actually hold the whole conference. So I took around 60 people from Mumbai University and of course Chandigarh. We had 3-day major international conference where we had Baba Ramdev and all the yoga gurus coming over there. I was instrumental in designing the program. When I say I mean with the whole team of the government machinery, and it was amazing. I can tell you a small instant of my first, I would say, rubbing with power. So since I was in charge, we had 2-3 IAS officers over there, and I could see that one person who was a vendor, he was actually misusing the public funds. Okay, so he was supposed to make some videos and things like that because we wanted to use it in a digital format and all. And I could sense that he's not delivering. He's trying to take money from the government. Okay, and now remember, I'm a semi-bureaucrat, so I can't let my public funds go. And I remember I telling one of these IAS officers saying that I think this guy is something fishy. So now I'm on the side of the government. I'm not on a public side. And you'd be surprised. Okay, next day just came and told me and saying that he's been arrested.
Oh, wow.
I said,
Kamal.
what? So you are in charge of the conference. We just checked it and it was true. So he was misusing the power. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, wait. I just told that, he's doing something fishy. Yeah, you have the power. Your word is last. I said, okay, thank you. I just settled down. And I told my team also, saying that, listen, this is temporary. So a statement in the government is not a statement. Your wish is my command.
Ooh.
So think about which level execution at the bureaucratic level can do. Of course, the good news is that, don't worry about it. He came out of it and all those things. The money was recovered. But that is the first time I realized what the government can do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our first impression of the government is corruption. But there are so many people who are uncorrupt working for the public funds as well. And they're doing it in the right way. So that's
good.
bureaucracy on the other side, where execution is like done. So 3 days of international conference, and we had the best of best. And thanks to, of course, I got some award from the governor and all those things.
तो फ्रेंड्स वीडियो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चल रही है और जिस तरह से वो इन डेप्थ एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं ना, बहुत ही मजा आ रहा है और लर्निंग भी हो रही है कि प्रोसेस में चलता क्या है। और ये जो लास्ट इंसिडेंट इन्होंने बताया यार, ये तो कमाल का ही था कि उनको लगा बस महसूस हुआ, ये वही कह रहे थे कि महसूस हुआ कि कुछ गड़बड़ है इस इंसान में, और बस यही बोला कि ऐसे लग रहा है कि कुछ गड़बड़ है। और वो बताने के बाद नेक्स्ट टाइम जब उस बारे में बात हुई तो पता चला उसको अरेस्ट भी कर लिया, सच्ची में गड़बड़ थी, चेक हो गया, जो भी है उसको जेल में डाल दिया। कमाल है। पर उन्होंने ये भी अच्छा बताया कि हम जब भी सोचते हैं पॉलिटिशियंस, हमें लगता है करप्ट ही हैं, मेरे को भी ऐसे ही लगता है, पर वो कह रहे हैं ऐसा नहीं है, कई हैं जो सच्चा काम भी करते हैं। ऑब्वियसली तभी सिस्टम तो चल रहा है, अगर सारी करप्ट होते तो सिस्टम कब का फेल होके गिर गया होता। तो वो बड़ा पॉजिटिव बताया और इतना कुछ बता रहे हैं ना, मजा ही आ रहा है।
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा बताया कि पॉलिटिकल साइंस में थोड़ा
ध्यान
देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि मतलब तो डिपेंड करता है कि मतलब जो लोग
इंटरेस्ट क्या है,
आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या है, परंतु आपको सब चीजों के बारे में कुछ पता होना चाहिए।
तभी तो स्कूल में पढ़ाते हैं कि भैया इतने लेवल तक तो पढ़ाना ही है।
कुछ ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं जो हर एक में डेडिकेटली काम करते हैं, तो उनको तो हर चीज पता होती है, मगर कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो सिर्फ कुछ चीजों में ही ध्यान देते हैं, बोलते हैं औरों में मुझे क्या, मैं पॉलिटिकल साइंस में तो कभी जाने नहीं वाला, मैं साइंस में जाने वाला, मैं उसमें जाने वाला, मैं आर्ट्स में जाने वाला, मुझे क्या लेना देना। तो वैसा एटीट्यूड नहीं होना चाहिए। एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए कि सभी नॉलेज इज नॉलेज, नॉलेज तो आपके पास आनी चाहिए, आपको जहाँ जाना चाहिए, आपको रोक कौन रहा है, मगर नॉलेज क्यों रोकते हो अपनी भाई? जो मैं तुम क्लास में गए हो, क्लास में तुम्हें पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो रोक क्यों रहे हो? नॉलेज जो आ रही है ले लो, प्रॉब्लम क्या है? तो मेरे ख्याल से उस तरीके से सोचेंगे तो अच्छा होगा, और काफ़ी अच्छे तरीके से ये एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं। और क्योंकि जब आप ब्यूरोक्रेसी करते हैं लोगों को नहीं पता होता उसका, तो इसलिए वो क्लियर कर रहे हैं। उसका मतलब वो IAS IPS FES और IFS सबसे स्ट्रांग है, क्योंकि वो बाहर जाते हैं इंडिया से, तो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से बताया उसके। तो पॉलिटिकल साइंस में फोकस करिए, गवर्नमेंट कैसे बनती है फोकस करिए, लीडर्स कैसे बनते हैं, और साथ में आपको कैसे ब्यूरोक्रेट बनना है, और डिपेंड करता है आपके पैशन में जहाँ आपका है। कुछ लोग जो होते हैं उनको ये होता है भाई मेरे को साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी है तो साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी में जाइए, किसी को आर्ट्स है आर्ट्स चाहिए, और अगर आपको एडमिन लगता है तो एडमिन में जाइए। हर एक को बंदे को अपने तरीके से एक्साइटमेंट आती है। जो साइंस वाला है, जैसे हम लोग हैं, हमें तो बोर हो जाएंगे सब काम में, तो हर एक बंदे को अपना पैशन देके उसमें जाना चाहिए। तो काफी अच्छा वीडियो था।
यस फ्रेंड्स, तो चलो चलते हैं, मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में बहुत ही जल्द। टिल देन टेक केयर एंड बाय बाय।
तो अगर आप मेरे इस चैनल पे नए हो तो जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब के बटन को हिट करो और बेल आइकन को क्लिक करो, ताकि आपको मेरा जब नया वीडियो मैं लगाऊं आपको उसके बारे में जल्दी से पता चल जाए।